Move my tripod. So I gotta check a message here real quick while I wait for some people to get on. Sorry, had to check a message. Hello, hello, hello. So I gotta grab my... If you're just hopping on and you're new here, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Running late, sorry. Running late, running late, running late. If you're new here, tell us who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. All right, well, maybe. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Is it CJ? Hey, Jen. Sorry, I'm late. Trying to split my time between where it needs to go, and it's hard. Aw. Anyway. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. I just realized I didn't get a chance to go to the restroom either, but I'll live. I usually like to try to go to the restroom before I go live, but I was busy. All right, guys, so if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm already running really, really late, so I'm just gonna wait like another minute and then I'll get going. Since I'm already so late. Ugh. Some people hop on, or are we just gonna plateau out tonight? Thank you for the likes, Jen. Okay, so tonight we're talking about trusting the process. And this has been a long journey for me doing that. But first, if you're new here, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. I'm just going to give you a little background of why I'm here. So if you're new here, and if you're not new here, I'm sorry that you have to hear the same thing over and over. So like I said, my name is Renee and I'm from California. I almost said South Dakota, Jen. I'm from California. Welcome. I started my TikTok in March of 2024. So here in a couple months, I'll be here 2 years. The reason I started my TikTok is because in September of 2023, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. That's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my spirit guides, and they slowly breadcrumb me to my purpose, which is to help other people with loss and to uplift others. So that's why I'm here. Let's see. I only have 2 rules here. The first one is I just ask that you always be kind. The second one is we talk no politics. Manda, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. Talk absolutely no politics. It's not against one side or the other. It's just not at all what my page is about. There's a million other pages out there to do that. So those are my only 2 rules here. Is it Robin? Hi. Where are you from? Have you been on here before? And so I always like to say I am on my journey of life where I am, and you're on your journey of life where you are. And none of us are ever going to agree on everything. So we agree to disagree here. Wisconsin, welcome. No? Okay, just checking. I wasn't quite sure. And so, yeah, we agree to disagree here. We talk about all kinds of different things with loss and emotions and grieving and trauma. And we talk about goals and dreams and just the whole gamut of things. And so Sometimes I might say something you disagree with, or you say something I disagree with, and we just agree to disagree. And I just ask if you can't do that. Hop off, keep scrolling. Hi, sunshine. Hello. How are you? Do you have a name and where you're from? And so when I go live at night, my guides usually give me a topic. Sometimes they tell me what to talk about. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're like, here's your topic. Go on. Most of the time, it's not most. The things that I talk about here are things that I've already been through, I'm going through, that I've dealt with. And basically I'm just sharing my experience. And so sometimes it's a lesson that my guides are like, yeah, she ain't got it yet. So we're going to pound it into her head by her going live and talking about it. So if you're here, like I said, if you're new here, tell us who you are, where you're from. Welcome, welcome. Tonight we're talking about trusting the process. This is something, there again, my guides are like trying to bang into my head. I've been doing really well the last couple months with this topic. And so when my guide gave it to me tonight, I was like, okay, that sounds like a good topic. So since I'm already really late, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can read my notebook. Cat hair, dog hair, something. Okay, so trusting the process. Oh, and I forgot to say, we're not shy here. So my page is your page. So you're never interrupting me. Pipe in anytime. My page depends on your comments. Now, TikTok hides them sometimes. I apologize. If I don't read your comment, that means I didn't see it. TikTok probably hid it. Nothing I can do about it. I have all my filters off. It just is what it is. So trusting the process. What is the process, right? So when I say trusting the process, it can be maybe meeting a goal, a new life journey. Like when my husband, unalived himself, I had a whole new life journey because we were together for 32 years. If you're not familiar with my background or my story, we were together for 32 years when he decided to check out on me. And I didn't know an adult life without him. And so my entire world of 32 years crumbled, just poof, gone. And so I had to learn a whole new life, right? A new journey. It can be the process of healing. So there's many things that can be processed. I look familiar. Let me guess. I probably look like you name it. I get told that all the time. Okay. So it's having faith in a plan or system or your journey, right? So no matter where you are, whatever process you're talking about, for me tonight, I'm going to kind of lean towards the healing process because that's what I'm experienced with. The process doesn't always bring results. Well, I think it does. It's just maybe, how do I want to say this? I think it does. I think sometimes what our expectations are and what we think the end result may be, or what are maybe two different things. You have to look at it in the aspect of maybe sometimes. Okay, so sometimes the creator, the divine universe, whatever it is you say or believe, right, has a better plan for you. Okay. And I believe everything happens when it's meant to happen. I believe everything happens in divine timing. And sometimes what our plan is and what the divine's plan is are two different things. And so maybe the results that we're expecting, we don't get. Maybe they're different results because the divine says, well, I have a different plan for you. Or maybe you're not on your life purpose or your path. And so they have to give you a correct course correction. Sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes you have a detour, and we're going to talk about that. Thank you for the rose. I'm not quite sure who sent it. If you have a name and where you're from. And so we can talk about all those things, but I know for me, same thing, right? So I had goals and dreams and thought that this is how my life was going to go, before my husband checked out. I thought, okay, we're going to downsize and we're going to spend most of the time at the beach, and we're going, and that was my plan, right? And then after my husband, I got to move this tripod for just a second. Sorry. And then, after my husband checked out, then I realized that I was not on the path to my purpose. Okay. So anyway, so I discovered that I was not on the path to my purpose. So in my case, I needed a course correction. I was told that my husband was put into my life to give me the confidence that I needed in order to set me on the path of my purpose. And that wasn't happening, right? I was becoming more and more codependent on him instead. My expectations may not be divine, but my expectations not met are troublesome. I'm not quite sure if I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't think your expectation, okay, first of all, let's just talk about expectations, right? I think sometimes what we expect to happen, okay, back up for a second. How many times have you had expectations, like say you're going to go to this movie, you see this movie preview, or you're going to go on a trip and you have these grand expectations for the movie, or you have these grand expectations for your trip, right? You're all excited and you build it up and you build it up for months and months and months. You're going to go on this fabulous trip. And then you go on the trip and you're like, well, this is kind of a letdown, right? Because you built that trip up so big in your head, in your mind, that it didn't meet those expectations, right? Does that make sense? It didn't meet that expectation. And so in your mind, that trip was maybe a failure or just a dud, okay? I look at it this way. If I'm going to go on a trip, I try not to set any expectations. So then when I get on that trip, then whatever happens, I'm appreciative and I'm enjoying myself, hopefully. I mean, if it's not a complete disaster, you know what I'm saying. But if the less expectations you set, the better, because then you're not expecting anything. What comes, and you don't have that letdown. Does that make sense? And I don't know if that's where you're going with that comment. I'm trying to understand. You can keep elaborating. And sometimes we set tiny expectations also, right? It can be the reverse. Maybe we set small goals, right? Like say we have a goal, like I want to buy this mediocre house, right? Just a small house, I don't need anything bigger than that. And then maybe the divine says, no, you're meant to have a big house, right? And the divine's plan is that you are to have a bigger house, but you set that small expectation. Well, the divine's plan is better than your plan. Does that make sense? I don't know if am I talking in circles? Somebody help me out here. Jen, am I talking in circles? But just be careful. I guess the thing is just be careful with expectations, right? To me, setting expectations are kind of like on the same line of assuming, right? When you assume how something's going to go, you and I both know what assuming is, hopefully, right? Same thing with expectations. Maybe not set the expectations and just have faith. That's a thought, right? Trust the process. That's kind of how I live my life these days. I don't really have any expectations. I just, and we'll talk about that as we go. So if I didn't, if you have more to that, keep talking to me. It's okay. We'll talk about it and talk it over. Thanks for the likes, Jen. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Okay. So it's having faith in a plan, a system, or a journey, right? Focusing on consistent effort. So I'm going to use my life because that's the only thing I have to go off of, right? Is it Sissy? Where are you from? Thank you for that. I'm not quite sure what it said. I missed it. From Pennsylvania. Welcome. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So like I said, I'm going to use me. I'm the resident guinea pig here. Thank you for the follow. So I can only go off of my experience, right? Okay, so my husband unalived himself. My entire world crumbled, right? So now I'm set on a healing journey, but also a journey of a new chapter, okay? And so when it come to my new journey of, let's talk about my purpose more than my healing at the moment. So part of my new chapter, my new journey, my new purpose was my guides started giving me messages for everyone, right? To put out every day. Okay. And so, when they give me messages, they're like, okay, this is what you need to do. Right. So when my healing journey, my purpose journey began, my guide said, Renee, you need to be putting out videos, putting out reels. And I'm like, I don't know how to do a reel. Okay. So I asked my granddaughter, she's a preteen at the time. I'm like, can you help grandma put out a reel? Right. And so she did. I drug my feet for a month because I did not trust the process, because I was still learning how to listen to my guides and trust that process, because that process just started for me. Right. Okay. So my granddaughter tells me how to make a reel. I drug my feet for a couple more weeks. Finally, of course, if anybody knows anything about spirit is very persistent. And so a couple weeks later, they had been hounding me. When are you going to put out these reels? You need to be doing this. This is part of your new journey. This is part of your purpose. So January, towards the end of January comes, I start putting out reels on Facebook and on my Instagram. Okay. Then my guide said February came around, and my guide. So that was step one, right? I trusted the process of step one, right? And this is what I've learned, if nothing else, on my journey, is learning each step. And it's okay that I don't know the next step. It really is okay if you don't know the next step. What's important is being present in the moment. And we'll talk about that too. And so, like I said, on my journey, so the first step was, okay, putting out reels on those two social media. Okay. And actually my very first step was learning my purpose. That was actually the second step. But, so third step was, okay, February came and my guide said, okay, now you need to be on TikTok. And I'm like, I don't know how to be on TikTok. I don't want to be on TikTok. But my guides are like, no, that's the next step in your journey. And so there again, I did not trust the process. I wasn't sure how to do the process. So that was part of it. And I drug my feet through February. And then March came around and my grandkids were around because my daughter had a baby. And I said, okay, now I was learning, okay, well, she's already given me 2 steps. Maybe if I do the third step, and then it'll just keep coming, right? I was learning to trust the process. Yes, I agree. I'm trying to be obedient to my path. I can't imagine. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad that we're on the same page. And so at that point I was like, I was starting to learn, I was starting to trust the process. Right. And so, like I said, I drug my feet in February, then March came, and then I was like, okay, can you guys help grandma set up her TikTok? Cause I don't know what I'm doing. They were all thrilled to do that. So my grandkids set up my TikTok and I started posting. So I was posting on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. And I was like, okay. And I was learning to trust the process. And then pretty soon, this was in March. And then just at the end of June, because I was waiting for that next process while I was still going through my healing process, come the end of June, my guides are like, okay, now I want you to get on a live. I want you to start getting comfortable being on a live. Well, I was pretty comfortable because I had been doing Facebook lives for a couple of years. So I was aware what a live was like, right? Okay. So that was step 4, right? So by step 3, I was like, okay, I got to learn to trust the process, because she's already got me to this process, right? She got me to my purpose. These people that don't even speak English sending me invites. Sorry. So, I didn't even know what my purpose was when I started this journey, right? So she got me my purpose. She got me on 2 of the platforms and then doing reels. Then I'm on TikTok and I'm doing reels, and now I'm doing my lives, right? And I'm telling you all this because it just, for each step, I was learning more and more to trust the process. Okay, so now I'm going to hop back to my notes for a second. And then I did get on lives, by the way. So that was step 4 for me, right? And, you know, when my guide would say, okay, you need to be on live, I went on live and I trusted that process. Being alone is not for me. This is not living, just existing. Well, I'm so sorry, Dale. The only word of advice that I could give you in that aspect, and what I've learned on my journey in a little over 2 years since my husband unalived himself, is work on you. Seriously, and I'm saying this with all seriousness, work on you. If you don't know who you are and you don't love yourself, work on that. Start there, right? Now, if you know who you are and you love yourself, then the next step is focusing on you, focusing on your self-care. You know, what are the things you love to do, right? Focusing on your process of life. And if it's meant to be, somebody will come into your life at that point. That's my opinion. Okay. So focusing and being consistent, right? And so when my guide said, okay, Renee, you need to be putting out reels, that's what I did. I was focusing on being consistent, okay? Making sure I put out, you know, if she gave me a message today, that message went out today. And not worth the time? What's not worth the time? Me or you? Things are looking up on about, we talked about. Thank you. Oh, Bobby, I'm so happy. Sorry, guys, I had an eyelash there. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. Being here, as in my life, or being on this planet? Because let me tell you, if you're talking about being on this planet, you are worth the time. You are worth it. Okay, so can I back up real quick, guys? I always believe I always believe the topic goes where the topic is supposed to go, right? This all can wait till later. I want to talk to him for a second. Jen, can you block that whatever just wrote worthy something? Let me talk to Dale for a second, heart to heart here. I don't know if you heard the very beginning, Dale. I don't know if you know my story. So a little over 2 years ago, sorry, I got a hair. My husband unalived himself. We were together for 32 years. My entire world crumbled, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. I felt the same way. I didn't know an adult life without him. We had been together since I was 16 years old. I was now, 48 years old, almost 49 years old, starting from complete scratch. I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. I didn't know anything. I couldn't even breathe. You know, people in my life kept telling me, Renee, just put one foot in front of the other. And I didn't know how to do that. I couldn't breathe. In 32 years, I had never been more than 2 weeks without that person. I didn't know how to live without him. And so, you know, and I'm going to tell you what my daughter told me. Your life is worth living. Do you know your life is worth living? You are important. And guess what? You got on the wrong page in the aspect of now you're not alone. Your life is worth living. You are worth being on this planet. You are worthy. No matter what anybody says or anybody thinks, Dale is worthy. And Dale is now, since you're now in my community, you are never alone. So I'll tell you that right now. So just hang with us, okay? Please. Nobody's asking you to give. The only person you need to give to is you, Dale. You're the only person that you need to give to. Can I follow you so we can talk after my live or tomorrow? Whenever you have some time. I have a great group of people here, Dale. Can you give us what's going on in your life? Can you just give me a little scenario of what's happening? If you feel comfortable. If not, you can message me after. because you are worthy. And you don't need to give to anybody but you. Your life is important. And let me tell you something else. You know, when my husband unalived himself, you know, what people, when they do that, what they don't understand is you affect somebody else's story. Whether you believe that or not, if you weren't here, okay. So know that I understand exactly where you're at and where you're coming from. When did that happen? How long has it been? So you understand what I'm saying. 3 months. Okay. Okay. First of all, Dale, breathe, buddy. Okay? I'm so sorry, sissy. I'm so sorry, Dale. You know what? When I couldn't breathe when my husband did that. And I'm going to tell you that you will be okay. You will be okay. And as much as it hurts right now, it isn't going to hurt like that forever. I promise you. I promise you. But it's going to take some work. And you have to, even if it's just a tiny bit, believe that you're worth being here. Okay? Please, will you hang with me? Because like I said, you will affect somebody's story, just like your wife and your man affected your story, right? You didn't let her down. Okay, let's start with, you know what? I didn't miss the signs, okay? I didn't. I'm a psychic medium. I knew in my heart of hearts that what was coming. I just didn't want to face it, okay? So let me tell you something. You, Dale and Sissy, are not responsible for other people's choices, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, you're dealing with the guilt of the grief part, right? And I did too. But you have to know that this is not your fault. Whether you missed the signs, didn't miss the signs, it is not your fault. You are not, are you hearing me clearly? You are not responsible for somebody else's choices. You are not. All right. Sissy, I'm going to follow you too. That way I can find you guys. Okay, but you can't take that on. You cannot take that on yourself. Yes, while she is in this physical plane as her husband, yes, you're supposed to protect her. But if she made that choice, Dale, there is nothing you could have done. Are you hearing me? Just like that day I felt guilty that I didn't get there in time. I did not get to him in time. But if I had got there in time, that doesn't mean he wouldn't have just done it some other day. Okay? You are not responsible for her choice. Please hear me when I say that. Please. Because I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You are not responsible for her choice. She made her choice. We all have free will, whether we're married or not. She has free will. And all I'm asking you right now is just hang with me, hang with my community for right now, and just breathe, okay? Please. Because no matter how you're feeling right now in this moment, it will get better, I promise. I promise. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. My best friend is on here and she can tell you, I know it's hard. But you are not alone and you are not responsible for her choice. Please hear my heart. This is why I'm here. To help other people. This is exactly why my page was created. So people like you and Sissy know that you are not alone and you don't have to walk this alone. I had a best friend and I had 3 kids. You are not broken. You are not broken. You are not broken, Dale. I know it feels that way at the moment, but you are not broken. I promise you, you're not broken. It feels like you're broken. Trust me, my whole world of 32 years imploded by his choice. And I felt broken too and lost, right? You feel lost, responsible, guilty. I felt it all, Dale. I understand. Yeah, we were married 30, together 32. You were in the what I call the Forever 30 group. She would not want you. I can guarantee that. She would not want you to do the same thing. I promise you, it will get better. Please just hang with me and breathe, okay? Just breathe. One, how I had to do it. 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. No. Dale, when they're like that, they're not thinking clearly. I promise you they're not thinking clearly. There was something going on where she was not thinking clearly. Do you have kids, Dale? I promise you that it had nothing to do with you. I can tell you that. It had nothing to do with you. It was what was going on in her mind. Dale, are you still there? Please tell me you're still there. Do you have kids, Dale? Dale. She is with you in spirit. And I can tell you that right now. Every time you're thinking of her, she is right there next to you. Exactly. Exactly. Did we lose him? Dale, are you there? Okay, please just hang with us, okay? Please. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. That first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I locked myself in my camper. We were living out of our camper at the moment, so my husband could work. And I get it. I get it. I locked myself in my camper because I could not wrap my brain around. And then the guilt, right? The guilt set in. If I woulda, coulda, shoulda. My husband was in the hospital the day before, and I told the hospital to take him off a suicide watch. So I understand. I understand. I see you. I see you. I promise I see you. And I know what you're going through. I told them long story, my husband had an episode. He had complete amnesia, and I saw him back in his eyes. And I told that hospital that he would be okay. And the next day, he unalived himself. And I found him. I see you, Dale. Do you have children, Dale? A daughter and a granddaughter. Exactly. Do you understand how when your wife did what she did, it changed your story, right? So if you do the same thing, you change your daughter and your granddaughter's story for the rest of their life. Please hear me. Please. She didn't kill it. Maybe it crumbled. But one thing I've learned in my almost 2.5 years, Dale, is that sometimes everything has to be stripped away to understand where we're going. It just means that chapter's over, Dale. So when my husband left, my husband's family abandoned me. 32 years. The day of the funeral, after that, they were gone. And, that hurt me, and that really upset me. Let me grab something here. That hurt me. And then my guides made me realize that our life is like a play, guys. And sometimes people are here for one scene, 2 scenes, and they're here for your whole play. And sometimes they're not. And when their part in our play is over, it's time for them to exit stage right. People aren't always meant to be in our entire play, Dale. And I know it hurts. I know it hurts. Trust me. I thought I was going to die of a broken heart. So I understand what you're going through. And I know you feel broken, and I know you feel lost, and I know you feel guilty. I know you feel all of those things because that's exactly how I felt. But here I am sitting a little over 2 years later. It does get better. It will get better. I promise you it will get better. Do you have to do some work? Yes. Yes. You're going to have to put in some work. I'm not going to lie to you, but it will get better. I'm sorry. And some of us are put through things in life because we have a higher purpose here. And I believe that with my whole heart, Dale. You have a purpose here. And maybe you went through all those things, and you have to look at those things as perspective, right? It has to be put into perspective. Those things did not happen to you. They happened for you. And I know right now you're in that spot where you don't want to believe that. But everything in life happens for us for a reason. Nothing happens to us. Yes. And I know he feels disconnected right now because I know that's exactly why I'm here. You can ask my best friend the stuff that I've been through I've been to hell and back in the last 2 years. I lost everything. Every earthly possession was pretty much taken from me. I had to work 3 times harder than my husband had to work to make ends meet. I worked 2 jobs and still struggled to eat, struggled to feed my animals. I understand where you're at, Dale. I understand. Are you close to your daughter and your granddaughter? Dale, are you still there? Please tell me you're still there. No. No. I'm not a way better person. I'm no different than you are. Dale, I'm no different than you are. You feel empty. No, I'm no different than you are. If you would have seen me that first month when I came home after that happened, and I got on a Facebook Live and I cried and I screamed and I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. And you can ask my friend down here, she's my moderator, and she'll tell you how many times I said, I can't do this. I have the memory just like you do. When you saw her take her last breath, I didn't even get to see the last breath, Dale. I got to say this very carefully so they don't take me off of here. I got to cut my husband down and give him CPR for 20 minutes. That is the memory that will be etched in my mind for the rest of my life. I am no different than you are. The only difference is I took my pain and I turned it into power to help other people. And you don't have to do that. All I'm asking you to do is just breathe and take it one day at a time. And please hang with us and we will help you. And I promise you that it will not feel like this forever. I promise. Please don't change your daughter's and your granddaughter's story. Because you know how you're hurting right now? And I'm thankful that mine did not. That I don't have that image in my head for the rest of my life. But you know how you feel right now. Please don't make your daughter lose two parents and feel like that. And your granddaughter. The pain that, as much as it hurts you inside, don't make your daughter and your granddaughter feel like that. More than they probably already feel. I know. I get it. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. This is why I'm here, because I'm trying to help people so nobody has to go walk through what we've walked through, Dale. I don't want anybody to feel how we feel, how you feel right now and how I felt 2 years ago. Nobody should have to go through that. Nobody. But you are strong and you can get through this. Do you have any other support besides your daughter? But that's not how it works, Dale. If it was her time, it was her time. And yeah, I know that doesn't make sense, but have you ever heard of when somebody does something like that and it doesn't succeed? That means it wasn't their time. It's not your time. And it doesn't work like that, sadly. Okay. Well, guess what? I'm your family now. I'm here. I may not be your blood, but I'm here, Dale. I'm here. Right here, right now. I'm here. And I got you. I got your back. I'm here. Hi, Wayne. I have your back. Please let me have your back. Please let me help you. Grief sucks. Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's no way around it. Have you told your daughter how you feel? Does your daughter know how you're feeling? Have you talked to her? Please just hang with me, Dale. You've talked to your daughter? What does your daughter say? Is your daughter there to help you? Where do you live, Dale? Can you tell me where you live? I know it was her mother. And that's what I'm saying. Do you want to put her through this again? Please don't put her through this. Please don't change her story. Please don't change your granddaughter's story any more than your wife already did. Please. Please, just one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, please. Exactly. Not where she can see it. I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding what you mean there, Dale. Okay. I'm going to end my live, guys. Dale, I'm going to hop on chat. I want you to chat with me, please. Please. I'm going to go over and I'm going to DM you and I want you to talk to me. Please. Promise me you'll talk to me. Please. You won't talk to me. Can you call me? Will you call me? If I DM you my phone number, will you call me? Please, Dale. Please. If I give you my phone number, will you please call me? Why? Can I call you? Can you call? Will you call the suicide hotline and talk to somebody if you won't talk to me? Please. I'm not above begging. I beg you. Talk to me. Call the suicide hotline. Somebody, please. Please don't destroy your daughter and your granddaughter any more than what they're already destroyed. Please. I'm begging you. You know how you're hurting right now. Your daughter's hurting the same way. She needs you. She needs you, Dale. Please. Exactly. Cry. Have a good moment. It's okay. Your daughter needs you. Your granddaughter needs you. Please take yourself out of it for just a second. Take yourself out of the equation and feel what your daughter is going through and be there for her. If you can't be there for yourself right now, please be there for your daughter. Please. I'm begging you. Please. Can I have your number? Will you take my number? Please. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not. I promise. I just have been through what you've been through. Maybe not in the same way. Please. Please, Dale. Is he still there? Are you still there, Dale? Okay. Will you please, just talk to me on message? I'm not here to judge you, I promise. I'm just here to listen. Just talk to me. Just talk to me, please. Please just send me a message and just talk to me. Okay? Well, just talk. That's all I'm asking. will you please at least send me a phone number so that way I can text you or call you and check in on you tomorrow? Yeah, me too. Okay. But promise me that you will respond if I message you. Okay? Please? I think I followed you. Let me just double check. Promise me that you will respond if I check in on you tomorrow, okay? You're not alone, Dale. You're not alone. Do you hear me? You are not alone. I promise you, you're not alone. Will you at least promise me you'll let me check in on you tomorrow? Please. Dale? Why? Why? Please, Dale. I believe you want somebody, you want help, you want somebody to be there for you, or you would not have stayed on this live with me this long. Please. Just, you made a promise, you'll keep it. Okay. Will you promise me that you'll at least let me check in on you tomorrow? Where are you from, Dale? Will you tell me that? Okay. You promise me you won't do anything. And if you think you're going to do something, will you please message me? Will you call 988 for the suicide? Please? Okay. Thank you. You are not alone. And it will get better. I promise you. And I know right now it's hard to see the light at the end of that tunnel. It's so hard. But you just have to know that there is light there, Dale. This is why I'm here. This is why my page is here. Dale, can I send you? So I'm starting a Zoom for grief, a Zoom meeting. You don't have to talk. You can just hop on and just listen. If I send you that login, it's on Thursday nights. Will you try to get on there? Don't ever tell me you're sorry to make me cry. It's okay. It is, trust me, we are good. As long as I know that you are not going to do anything to yourself, we are good. But you are not alone. You are worthy. You are worth it. And please don't make your daughter go through anymore. Please don't change her story. Please don't change your granddaughter's story. I'm begging you. Okay? So you promised me? Will you please let me check in with you tomorrow, please? Are you checking with me? Okay. I know you're a man of your word. I could already tell. Don't forget I'm a psychic medium. I can feel your energy from here. You're a good man, Dale. What you just said told me, and I can feel your energy. You're a good man. You are a good man. And this is not your fault. Do you hear me? Other people's choices are not our responsibility. You're welcome. You're not alone. I promise you, you're not alone. Okay. All right, I'm going to send you the link, though, for my grief meeting on Zoom on Thursdays, but you don't have to come there if you just want to feel like talking to me. I don't have to say anything. I'll just be there to listen, okay? And I'm going to give you my phone number. You can text me, you can call me. I don't care what time of day or night it is. Okay? But you are not alone. Just remember that. You are not alone. You're welcome. And as soon as I get off here, I'm going to message you all that information. My phone number, okay? How to get a hold of me, how to dial into that grief meeting. Okay? Okay, guys. I'm going to hop off of here. Dale, I'm going to send you that information. Remember, you're not alone, day or night. And I'm not just saying it to say it. I mean it. I don't care what time of day or what time of night. If you need to text me, to talk, to cry, it's okay. You are not alone. All right, guys, so I'm going to hop off here for tonight. We'll pick up where we left off tonight. Tomorrow night, I will be back here. I was running really late tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I will be back here at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everybody have a great night, please. Make tomorrow great because it is a choice. And know that you are not alone. You are loved. I appreciate you all so much. Dale, I'm going to send you that information. Sissy, if you need anything, Laufer stands for you too. I'm going to send you a message also. And I'll be back here tomorrow night, guys. Dale, I'm coming. I'm sending you that information. You promised. All right, guys. Till tomorrow.